Today we're rating custom Magic the Gathering cards, and let's start off with a little bit of tax evasion. It's for a black-white, it's a sorcery. Until end of turn, commander spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is twice the number of times you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. So basically, as the more you cast your card, the less that it's going to, like a lot less. So I cast it once, then X is like 2 times less. It's not even tax evasion. Tax evasion is like when you don't pay the tax. Somehow you're taking money from the government, in this case, to pay for your commander. That's the way I'm looking at it. This actually might be stone cold busted in commander, if I understand this correctly. Till end of turn. Oh no, but it's only a sorcery. Ah, I get it. All right, so that's the only catch. So you basically pay it once and then that's it. You don't get it over and over and over again. If it were an enchantment, it'd be busted. All right, next up, we've got Discuss. It's a blue sorcery. Each player draws 2 cards. Oh my god. Is this fair or is this absolutely broken? 1 mana, draw 2, no condition. The only condition is that your opponent also draws 2. And then that's about it, I think. I mean, obviously this card is very good, but I'd have no idea if this is actually broken in half. The downside, I don't know if it makes up for the upside. You get to draw 2 cards. Well, anyway, everyone draws 2 cards. All right, let's say it's a banger. It's a pretty cool, I think it's pretty cool. It's probably balanced. If someone played this against me in like Modern, I guess I'd be pretty happy with it. Like, we already have cards like Thoughtcast where 1 person gets to draw 2 cards. Thought Monitor where 1 person gets to draw 2 cards. I want to draw 2 cards too! So probably it's actually fair. I'm surprised that Wizards hasn't even designed this card yet. It looks completely up their alley. All right, next up, we've got Computing the Answer. Oh, that's great. Okay, it's a blue-green saga. And then for Chapter 1, create 2 1/1 green alien citizen creature tokens. What? Why? I don't get it. Chapter 2, investigate all of this. And then chapter, I can't even read this chapter, you win the game. So we investigate 1, 2, oh, seriously, 2, oh, hold on. We have chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes on for a lot. There's a point where I can't read these Roman numerals. I just can't read them at all. So at some point, you one day win the game. Computing the answer. I don't know. It's not even a computing thing. It's like, can you read Roman numerals? This is some real X-Files theme. Oh! I didn't even get that part. Yeah, you eventually get to the X. The alien citizen creature tokens. I want to believe. This is really where this music comes from. The X-Files. A Hitchhiker's Guide reference? Alright, so I just am completely blown away. Oh, is it 42? Is that, or is it 42 or 420? Chapter 42 is when you win the game. XL2. I guess the L means 4. How fitting. Alright, we got Majra. Thank you very much for your super chat. For 5 first card of the part 1 of Sad Nail on Discord. Yes, of course. So now, if you want to support the show, you want to get your custom cards, I have in my description. You have to go to my Discord now. You got to join the Discord, post cards and the custom MTG cards channel, because I'm tired of Reddit. I am absolutely stone cold tired of Reddit. I should just Sad Nail. Okay, so this should be, so I can find the cards a lot easier. Okay, so we want the first 5. First one, Sonny, son of Sekiro. It's a green, black, white, 1 generic 3/3 snake shaman warrior noble. At the beginning of combat, for each snake you control without a trample counter on it, put a trample counter on it. That's a snake if it had, what? A snake you control without a trample counter on it, put a trample counter on that snake if it has trample, what has another one. The same is true for every keyword. Creatures you control the +1/+1. Creatures you control gain +1/+1 for each counter that is not a +1/+1 counter on them. Ah, interesting. So for each trample, you can have like 10 trample counters on this card. I guess that's a lot of counters. Whatever, it's playable. Vera, daughter of Sekiro. We got for Abzan, a 2/3 Snake Shaman Assassin Noble, Death Touch. Whenever Vera or another legendary snake or shaman enters the battlefield or dies, you proliferate. Well, at least the stuff that die, if you're proliferating stuff and stuff is getting sacrificed to the graveyard, then, like, whatever. Remove 7 counters from among permanents you control of a target creature. Then what? Remove 7 counters among permanents you control of a target creature. That's it? That's the ability? And landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. This is not clear. I don't understand why we're removing 7 counters from among permanents you control of target creature. Unless you just want to arbitrarily remove counters for no reason. Sekiro the Forgotten for Abzan 1 generic, a 7/7. Vigilance Vanishing 4. Can't attack or block alone. When it dies, exile it instead. Remove 5 counters from among permanents you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. See, that I understand. This deck makes tons of counters, though. Remove 8 counters from among permanents you control. Target permanent gains hexproof until end of turn. I have imagined you've built these cards in such a way that you can remove so many counters to do whatever the hell you want. So for Selesnya and a black, we have a 1/1 Snake Shaman Assassin. You love the snakes! Probably a fan of, what was it? Kamigawa? Is that where all the weird snakes came from? Assassins you control with a +1/+1 counter on them have Death Touch. Well, that's great. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. Actually might be too insane. Whatever. It's a 1/1 creature. We'll let it slide. And then Blade Master of the Sadnayel. I gotta get used to that because I'm sure I'm gonna have to say that many times. Golgarian a white for a 2/1 Snake Warrior Assassin with Mentor. Warrior you control the +1/+1 counter on them, gain first strike. This reminds me of Slivers in a way. Whenever an opponent creature damaged by any warrior you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target warrior you control. I hope what's it called? Sack outlets don't break that thing. Okay, next up, we got Rakdos Ultimatum for red, Rakdos hybrid, and black. It's gonna burn everything in hell. Sorcery, each player may sacrifice any number of permanents. Then, each permanent deals 1 damage to its controller. I don't understand why we want to do that. Each player may sacrifice any number of permanents. Then each permanent... Oh! No, I understand. So if you don't sack your perm, it's going to deal 1,000,000 damage to you. So it's like a weird... You know, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of card. You keep your permanents, it danger. If you don't keep your permanents, it also danger. It's actually quite an entertaining card. The scattered souls will feel the hell. Bodies wasted on the shores. On the blackest plains in hell's domain, we watch them as they go. Sam Totman. That is definitely AI generated if I've ever seen a flavor text before. 100%. This could cost less. I don't... It's like a weird board wipe. Could it cost less? Frankly, I think there are some ultimatums that do less than this. I mean, I guess you could just take the damage. What is it? It's 7 mana. Yeah, more expensive. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe this is really just a more expensive Rakdos charm. But they have the option to sack their permanents if they really want to. Kinda sick to add ultimatums to Ravnica. Selesnya would hate that. Well, then they're just haters. The fire and the flames would carry on. I love the card. Sweet. Very flavorful as well. The Ouroboros. It is a 1 generic 1/1 Elder Worm with a lot of text on it. It's also a legendary artifact creature. When the Ouroboros enters your graveyard from anywhere, you get an infinity counter. The Ouroboros gets +X/+X and cost X more to cast, where X is the number of infinity counters you have. You may play the Ouroboros from your graveyard. This card is doing like too much, I think. Here's the graveyard from there. You get an infinity counter. Costs X more to cast where X is. So basically, this is a card that keeps coming back and over and over and over again. And I can tutor for it with like Urza Saga. Maybe it's not that broken. It's plus X and costs X more to cast, where X is the number of infinity counters you have. So basically, it's like every single time it dies, it can get bigger every single time it comes back from the graveyard. Over and over and over again. My sister has this tattooed on her hand as a wedding ring. I don't even know what this is. I guess there's some lore that I'm missing here. You know what? I guess it's okay. It's okay. I'm sort of scared it's broken. The thing is, it's like some card that keeps coming back and it gets bigger and bigger. You know what? F it. I think this is too strong. Maybe in vintage it's fine, but in like reasonable formats, this is not fine. Or it's a vanilla creature, I guess, right? Hard for me to wrap my head around this card. It's just very cheap. Yeah, another card that gets broken with Urza Saga. And it doesn't die. It keeps coming back. Next, we got Bacon Catbug. Welcome back, Nikachu. We got Lumior Prestige Gold. Let's look up Lumior Prestige Gold. Adaptation from Shadowverse alongside some other Discord Dragon Merfolk cards. All right. I think, well, okay, we'll test this out. We got Lumior Prestige Gold, lovely picture. We got a red Rakdos Black 5 generic for a Elder Dragon. I didn't know Elder Dragons look so close to anime girls. Okay, we have a 5/5 flyer. Enters the battlefield, we're getting a discount here. We add black, red, and Rakdos, discard 2 cards. Then draw 3 cards. So basically, it only costs 5 mana. I mean, essentially. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, Lumior deals X damage to target opponent and each creature they control, where X is twice the number of cards discard. This card's broken. I think this card's just super busted. Now, it is 8 mana. Maybe I shouldn't go so hard. Like, for 8 mana, it should do something busted. But it's like a perpetual... Does it to each creature? To target opponent and each creature they control. So none of your creatures. This is absolutely insane. And it's double what you discard. So it's like immediately 4 damage. Start playing Faithless Looting or Wheel of Fortune. It's all over. I don't think so. Okay, we got Argent, Pure Silver. This is a Jund 3/3 Dragon. Flyer. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you discard 2 cards. Ah, having synergy with that last card, I see. Then if you've discarded 3 or more cards since the beginning of the previous turn, draw 3 cards, create a tapped land token named Paradise, with tap, add 1. What are you... If you make them maybe discard that many cards this turn, it would be fine. But if you're going to count the previous turn, that's absolutely ridiculous. Really, way too strong. Okay, spoiled Mermanager. We got a Mermanager here. I would like to speak to your Mermanager. White, blue for a 2/2 Merfolk. Whenever this is discarded, you gain 3 life. I love it already. Whenever spoiled Mermanager enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card, you gain 1 life. Actually is fair enough. Not really a white card, though, in my opinion. Next up, we got when spoiled... Next up, we got this one. The Mermaid Songstress, a white 0/2. Whenever you discard Mermaid Songstress, create a token copy of it. That actually seems okay so far. At the beginning of your end step, if your life total is less than your starting life total, you gain 2 life. That is also fair. So I give that a pass. The sea is her studio. The churning waves and capsized boats are part of the show. See, the merfolk are fair, because all merfolk are fair. Rakdos Merfolk, Rakdos 1 generic, a 3/3 Merfolk. When Mermaid Guide enters the battlefield, if you discarded a card this turn, he gains haste until end of turn. Very fair. Actually, really crappy. Too crappy, in fact. Incredibly underwhelming. Alright, now we go back to the freebie Reddit area. We got Katarina the Sinister Blade. It's a red-black 3 generic 4/3 human assassin. Death Lotus. When Katarina enters the battlefield, she deals 1 damage to each other creature and each player. Whenever a creature dies this turn, Katarina deals 1 damage to each other creature and each player. Seems fair enough. Actually, just a very reasonable card, in my opinion. 3 mana, 3/3 is fine. Oh yeah, 3 mana, 3/3 is beyond. Debatably, it's unplayable even in draft. Mirrorlith, 3 generic artifact. Tap, reveal the top card of your library, then add colorless or 1 mana of any of its colors. What? Reveal the top card of your library. Add colorless or 1. Oh, I see. So you can tap and add, like, if you have a Wooburg card on top of your deck, you can add 1 of the Wooburg. Also, sacrifice it to draw a card. That is definitely playable. I don't think it's broken. It's possible this is broken. Is there any artifact that does not require tapping that you can sack this? Like, there are second sunrise type decks where, you know, you bring a bunch of cards from the graveyard back to the or a bunch of cards that left the battlefield this turn come back. It's possible that this is broken in some sort of artifact combo deck, because most artifacts require some payment to crack it for a card, or you at least have to tap it to crack it for a card. This is literally sack it, draw a card. Could be too much value, so tentatively I'm gonna say this is okay, but could be broken in damn half. You could probably find a way to break it, but it would take some work. Well, of course, all combos take work. No work, no. If you don't work, you don't get anything. Seemed like a rules nightmare, since you couldn't announce a spell, then have to reveal the correct color for that spell. Reveal the top card for your library. Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, I want to cast this spell, pay my mana cost, reveal. It's probably not that big of a deal. You do what you gotta do. The Darkest of Depths. Oh god, there's a dinosaur at the end of that thing. Legendary Snowland. Enters the battlefield with 15 ice counters on it. Pay 3, remove an ice counter from the Darkest Depths and put a melting counter on it. When the Darkest Depths has 15 melting counters on it, sacrifice it. If you do, create Maximus Lage, a legendary 40/40 black avatar god creature token with flying, indestructible, hexproof, first strike, and death touch. Why not? Merit Lage is allowed to exist. We can have the greatest of Lages. Okay, we got Nick Clippinger with lucrative excursion. Thank you very much for your super chat. Remember, it's gotta be on Discord now. I hope everyone's accustomed to the Discord thing. Lucrative excursion. Oh no! You have to join my Discord. Okay, I'm gonna find. I'm pretty sure you're doing it here. Reload. Whoops, not reload. I don't want to reload anything. The new rule is look in the description. You have to join my Discord. You have to post in my Discord. I'll look for this on Reddit. But at some point, I'm going to eat your super chats. I'm going to eat the super chats, people. Be part of the community. Also, make it easier for me to find your damn cards. Okay, we have a blue 2 generic saga. Chapter 1, create a map token, then target creature you control explores. That's fine. Okay, chapter 2, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put an artifact and or cave card from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's good value. And then chapter 3, discover X, where X is the number of artifacts you control. So far, so good. Chapter 4, create 4 treasure tokens. This actually is just a lot of value. There's actually no bomb to this card. So anyway, very interesting. Yeah, we gotta join the Discord. I have to do that. You're not on my Discord? You're like a legacy staple here, Toads. So anyway, you can submit your cards on Discord. But you gotta pay for them to be on the show. Anyway, cool card. I like it. We got Oba! Where's this taken off from? Where was I from? Okay, well, I don't know where it put me, but... Okay, we're gonna go with Mana Cascade. Enters the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. That's probably very fair. Moving on. Leyline of All. Oh yeah, they just printed that new Leyline of like 5-color Wooburg hybrid nonsense. So let's go. Let's get to the final stage of all the Leylines. Leyline of All. Okay, it's apparently it's got the card type Leyline. If Leyline of All is in your opening hand, choose one. You may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Isn't that normally how it's supposed to be? You can also reveal Leyline of All from your hand, then search your library for 2 Leyline cards with different names and put them on the battlefield. Exile Leyline of All. I don't know what the consequences of that are. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and or graveyard for a ley line and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Hold on. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can search your library for a ley line and put it on the battlefield. So, like, why would you want to start with any other ley line? Just put this on the battlefield, and every turn you get a new ley line. That's broken. I don't think I like that third part. If you would play a ley line card from your hand, draw 2 cards. That's probably fine, but overall, because of the tutoring a ley line onto the battlefield, I actually think this is just stone cold broken. If it put it in your hand, it's probably fine. Like, all these, I would probably not care. Like, your deck is so goddamn janky if it's, like, just a ley line deck. If your deck is, like, 30 ley lines and a bunch of lands. I don't even know how you win with this thing. Okay, so, moving on. Oba, the Usurper. Green 3 generic for a 3/2 Dryad Rogue. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may untap all lands you control. If you do until end of turn, they lose all abilities and types and become a 1/1 creatures with haste. And when this creature dies, returns to the battlefield tapped. You can untap all the lands on your turn. So it's basically like a what's that? Something reclamation. Till end of turn, they lose all abilities and type. Oh, but they're 1/1 creatures. Okay. And 3-mana target creature gains death touch until end of turn. No one makes those types of abilities anymore. Like, that's a pretty sad ability. 3 mana to give death touch. But that makes sense. Okay, I am Matt Selesnya. I am Ravnica. That is just somebody who's crazy. They're off to the crazy house. In my opinion. Oh my god, we got a lot of super chats here. Green Cheese! The main cast from South Park. It's better be on my Discord. The main cast. The Stick of Truth as magic cards. What? Okay, hold on. Is this the... No! Okay, new rules, people. You gotta post them in my Discord. This is the main cast from South Park. I guess we'll have to teach the rules for the next few weeks. But we'll get there. Because Reddit is sometimes very unreliable, and I waste like an hour looking for your cards on Reddit. The search function on Reddit just sucks. Okay, the first 5, please, since it's $2 per card. Yeah, basically. I don't know how to adjust the super chats on this show at all. I just can't adjust the damn super chats. Okay, Grand Wizard Cartman. This is a red, black, blue, 1 generic, 1/4 human wizard. You're a wizard, Cartman. Whenever an opponent casts their first spell each turn, create a treasure token. We also have for a red, black, blue tap. Grand Wizard Cartman deals 4 damage to any target. That's probably fine. Discard a card, untap Grand Wizard Cartman. So the crazy thing is, like, you are guaranteed a treasure like almost every turn off of this card. This is just crazy. Nikachu, you need a banner with new rules. Probably, like, I probably could have a banner at the top. Whatever, we'll do it for next one. Remember, I got a Discord now. We got a Discord. I've always actually had a Discord. But the deal is, we have so many problems with Reddit looking up cards that now I'm taking things into my own hands. I can easily search for your cards on my Discord. Okay, I think this card is fine. It's possible it's broken because whenever your opponent casts their first spell each turn. That's actually on everyone else's turn. I can't do it. No, that sounds too strong. So it's the first spell every single turn on their turns and other turns. You'll make an insane number of treasures. It's just completely busted and bonkers. Okay, Butters, the Paladin. 3 white for a 3/3 human Paladin. Vigilance. White, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to you and or permanents you control this turn. Totally fine. That's actually sounds really weak. We also have a white 4 generic tap. Roll a d6. Destroy target non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the result. So, but you have to target something first. Oh, no, roll. Oh, so it's tap. You have 2 colons here. Isn't it like white 4 generic, roll d6, tap, destroy? Like, I don't know how this card works. Is this legal? You have 2 costs. It's like tap, roll a d6, then colon, destroy target. It's like you got... What would make actually some sense to me is you try to destroy something and you roll a d6, and if the mana value is less than or equal to the result, it gets destroyed. If it's not, it lives. That would actually make sense. So I think that would be okay. But I actually think you have to get rid of the colon there. Okay, next up. Princess Kenny. Black, black, white for a 2/2 human princess. Death touch. Black, black, 1 generic. Tap. Draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. Totally fine. Pay 5. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Also, you lose 3 life. Totally fine. Princess Kenny, very fair. Labar Jimmy for Teamer 1 generic. We have a 1/3 human bard. Ward, you lose 3 life. Sorry, you lose 4 life. Isn't it like pay 4 life? Okay, green 1 generic. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Blue 1 generic. Draw a card, then discard a card. And also red 1 generic. Goad target creature. That is also super fair. Is that 4? How many cards are here? Kyle, Drove of the Elves. Green, green 2 generic for a 3/4 elf druid. Reach. Discard a card, create a 1/1 green elf soldier creature token. Isn't that broken? So like if you have just like a lot of cards in your hand, you can just keep discarding cards. Like there's no cost to this thing. Green, green 2 generic. Kyle of the Drow Elves deals 2 damage to each creature with flying and each other player. I have a feeling this ability can be broken in half. I just have a feeling. Like, if it was even pay 1, discard a card, create a 1/1 green elf, that probably is okay. This sounds dangerous. It's like, is there anything else that you can just discard a card and you create a creature? Kyle in mono green Madness Commander. Goes infinite? I'm sure it does go infinite. I mean, going infinite, not a problem in Magic, but seems a little dangerous. Yeah, we need a way to pour elves on the battlefield. Exactly. Okay, back to the main page. We got Toxin Tinkerer. It's a black 1 generic 1/1 human scientist with Accomplice. While you're paying for another creature's ability and this creature is untapped, you may tap it to reduce that ability's cost by its mana cost. Death Touch. Whenever Toxin Tinkerer becomes an accomplice, that ability gains Death Touch. Seems completely fine. Give everything Death Touch around here. Makes a lot of sense. Next up, ooh, very colorful card. We got Ragtime Mouse Quiz Master for a green black 2 generic. It's a 3/4 Brainiac Oof. What part of mouse is this? Question time. You got questions? Maybe we got answers. Do I have a good question sound effect? Oh no, I do. Where is it? Question time. For a red blue, create a true artifact token and a false artifact token. What the hell is a false artifact token? Then exile this card. You may cast the creature later from exile. What? What part of creature did that make? Create a true artifact and a false artifact. Pay 4 tap. Each opponent names a non-land card type, then exiles cards on the top of their library until they reveal a non-land card. If they guess correctly, add that card to their hand. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those exiled cards. What does a true and false token even mean? This makes absolutely no sense to me. Is there any explanation here? Do people know what like a true and false means? Is this some sort of mechanic from somewhere that I don't know? Okay, moving on. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Majro went question mark, question mark, question mark. That's all I need to see. Okay, we saw the Rakdos Ultimatum. We saw this. Flamboyant Riposte. It's a white axe instant. Deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Then tap that creature and put a stun counter on it. If a permanent with a stun counter would... Okay, so hold on. We deal X damage to target attacking or blocking creature. That's totally fair. That's draft chaff as far as I'm concerned. Just a do nothing token? I guess so at this point. Alright, we got let's go to another super chats. Gabrielle. Welcome back, Nikachu. Has some cards to show today. Here's Books Must Be Burned. This is my Discord. Is not! Okay, I gotta put a post or something. Hold on. We gotta make a post here. I didn't think we had to do this, but we got to make a banner. Check. Submit cards via Discord. Check description. Oops, I didn't spell description correctly. Instead of saving time, I'm wasting time. Can we still see the cards? Yeah, we can still see the cards properly. Good. Excellent. Okay, I will, for the time being, it's going to be a process for people to get transferred. So, okay, next one is going to be books must be burned. Books must be burned. Is this yours? I can't tell if this is yours. There's a lot of books must be burned cards. Okay, I'm going to assume this one is yours. It came from 14 days ago. Books must be burned. It is a white sorcery. Choose one. Exile target enchantment and each other permanent with the same name. Exile or you can also exile target artifact and each other permanent with the same name. Banger card. This is exactly what we need. Deals with enchantment artifact tokens. Hold on, no, it doesn't. Exile target. I'm like, it deals with all the treasures, but at the same time, it deals with no treasures at all because in response, you can just sack the damn treasure. I guess it deals with some certain types of artifact tokens that you can't be cannot be sacrificed so easily. Okay, next we gotta look at our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. Carl, you want to get your Murders at Karlov Manor spoiler singles? Singles, whatever. They've been spoiled already. You know what the cards are. You get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Also, deal of the week. Save up to 20% off select magic artifacts. Crucible Worlds. Mox Opal. Memory Jar, which is banned everywhere as far as I'm concerned. Agassiz Soul Cauldron. Get them while they're hot, while those deals are hot. Whoops. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Be able to play any deck, any format you want on Magic Online. Modern, Pioneer, Standard. Standard's way cheaper online than it is on Magic Online than it is Arena by far. Don't buy wild cards that just expire. You rent the cards, and you play as many decks as you want. It's the format. As the cards get rotated, your cards don't get rotated because you're just sending them back to Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_ZWX. Okay, let's get back to business here. And by business, whoops. Let's get back to Reddit business. Trying to get back into the swing of things. The custom card show is very complicated. Okay, next. Yeah, hot magic singles in your area. You got it. Okay, now it's just super chats from here on out. Starting with, I guess I'm gonna have to pace them out here. We always go with the more expensive ones first. I guess I shouldn't start with these because these are like basically $2 cards, but you're in like big batches. Okay, we'll go with One Frame James, Tammy Goblin Blade. Oh God, please. Is this on my Discord? Tammy. I guess like, oops, I didn't even spell it right. Tammy? It's not here, damn it. I'm wasting more time now. Okay, Tammy. Tammy Goblin Babe. It is a red 1 generic legendary creature goblin. Is a 1/1 creature. Enters the battlefield. Exile Tammy and another goblin you control, each with 2 time counters, or sacrifice Tammy. If either Tammy or the exiled goblin don't have suspend, they gain suspend. When Tammy and the exiled goblin enter the battlefield, put 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield. So this is just like a token generator, if I understand that correctly. I think that works out quite well. This is a great card. It's been a while. Everyone's super chatting, and now I'm like, oh God, are these people submitting on the, I'm assuming people are actually submitting. Okay, I know who's submitting in the Discord. I'm just going to assume by default everyone else is submitting on everywhere else, or like back on Reddit. Okay, let's put the second one already. Thank you very much for your super chats. Oops. Gabrielle, I appreciate it. Louisa Fair. Fortunately, Reddit is working today. Or is it? I believe it is working. Louisa Fair, Observer, red, black, blue, 1 generic, 3/3 Elder Dragon. Whenever an opponent discards 1 or more cards, you may play one of these cards, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So if they discard cards, it gives you the ability to cast this thing like it's like reversed madness. Pretty interesting mechanic. It's like giving it like a weird flash, situational flash. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent has 1 or less cards in their hand, transform this thing. It gets transformed into Lucifer, Lord of Chaos, a 6/6 flying creature. Whenever 1 or more cards an opponent owns is discarded, well, if every card that they have, so a little bit of any card that someone discards, they own it. They own it already, so that's redundant text. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own. Okay, you can cast spells you don't own because they can be from exile. That spell's owner loses life equal to that spell's mana value. Can you ever own some? Whenever an opponent discards 1 or more cards, you may play one of these cards. And you may spend... Oh, sorry. Whenever an opponent discards their cards, you can play one of the cards that were discarded, not this card. Okay, I misinterpreted this card. So going back, they discard cards, you can play them. I think this is a cool card. Good design. A little weirdly worded, but we got there. Okay, next up, let's look at Shock Creations, Prismatic Guardian. Prismatic Guardian, version 2, I'm guessing. Is this... And also, thank you very much for your super chat. Wooburg for a 7/7 creature. It's a construct. Domain. A Prismatic Guardian gets -1/-1 for each basic land type among lands you control. Well, that sounds actually incredibly sad. If you control plains, Prismatic Guardian has vigilance. Okay, that's good. The same is true for islands and hexproof swamps. Islands get hexproof, swamps give menace, forests give trample, and the mountains give first strike. So it could be like a 2/2 grizzly, like super grizzly bear. I guess that's fine. I don't know if it was necessary. Oh, I see. Otherwise, it'd be like a 7/7 hexproofing thing for 5 mana. Somehow I think it'd be like fine at that rate. It wouldn't be that broken at all. Okay, we got Platonic Liquid. Next up with the Bringer Cycle. Phyrexian Bringer Cycle. So we have the Phyrexian Bringer Cycle. Starting with Bringer of the White Twilight, a white Phyrexian and 6 generic for a 5/5 Phyrexian Bringer. You can pay a Phyrexian white and the rest of Wooburg rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Trample. At the beginning of your end step, incubate 2 twice. Then put a +1/+1 counter on each other Phyrexian and incubator you control. Super fair. That's fun. This is gonna be a hilarious cycle. Now we got Bringer of the Blue Twilight. It's a blue Phyrexian 6 generic for a 5/5 Phyrexian Bringer. You may pay white, blue Phyrexian. So if the Bringer is of that color, you get you pay Phyrexian mana for it, and then you have to pay the rest of the Wooburg rather than pay the regular spell's mana cost. Trample. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then proliferate non-creature permanents. Also, probably fair, probably annoying to a lot of people. Okay, Bringer of the Black Twilight, a black Phyrexian and also 6 generic for a 5/5. You can either pay the Wooburg or pay whatever. You can pay Wooburg, but a Phyrexian black rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Trample. At the beginning of your end step, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. Then each opponent loses 3 life, discards a card, and gets a poison counter. What? This sounds crazy. At the end step, everyone gets a -1/-1. Each opponent loses 3 life, discards a card, then gets poison counters. And you could proliferate on top of that? I think this card's busted. Or it sounds oppressive to me. And it's only 4 mana, as far as I'm concerned. These are all fairly good. You got it right. Mike, dear sexy sir, I got to get to work. I got to get going to work, but just wanted to say you are awesome. Thank you very much. Hope you get to the best cards from the new set. I will. Absolutely. Don't blame me. I had them less powerful and Reddit got angry at me. What? Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe this card is fine, but it looks strong to me. Okay, Bringer of Red Twilight. It's a 5/5 trample at the beginning of your end step. Put 2 oil counters on each Phyrexian and artifact you control. Then you may destroy target artifact and or have Bringer of Red Twilight deal X damage to target creature, where X is the number of oil counters on target permanent you control. I can get behind that. And then also Bringer of the Green Twilight. Trample. At the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 Phyrexian-based creature token, then put Toxic 1 counter on each other Phyrexian you control with total Toxic value 2 or less. That's wild. Total Toxic value. Oh, so it can get up to Toxic 2? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to evaluate this card. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's broken. We'll let it all slide. Okay, next up, we've got... Okay, I'm just going to go down the list. It'll make things easier. Okay, we got LN Chen Chips. Thank you very much for your super chat. Mothra and... Is Mothra here? It is! Thank you very much, LN Chen Gaming, for using the Discord. I can give you an extra super chat sound effect for that. I can't read this. This is awful. Very bad templating. Too transparent. Okay, Mothra and Trigalti for a black and a blue star. We're gonna assume that's mana. Legendary creature. Insect, wizard, peasant. Pay 3. I guess it's 3. Choose a color. Until end of turn, all cards that are that color. Okay, I guess that's fine. All cards that aren't on the battlefield. Spells and permanents are the chosen color in addition to their other colors. Whenever you play your second spell of that color, draw a card and lose 2 life. Totally fair. I think it's fair. That does a lot for a Grizzly Bear, but still you have to pay 3 mana for the ability. Still hate the templating. That's too transparent. I can't read that damn crap. Can't read anything here. Bacon Catbug with some meme cards. A batch of Dreadmaw meme cards. Dreadmaw meme cards. A batch of them. Let's get them through. Let's get through them. 6 mana. Enchant creature gets +6/+6 and has trample. We gotta artificially make them Dreadmaws. 6 mana for a 6/6 with trample. It's just an artifact Dreadmaw. We got another artifact Dreadmaw. Okay, it's got Sunburst this time. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Also, it's just an upgraded version of the original Dreadmaw. That's actually sort of cool. They probably should make that card. So it's like a Wooburg. So you can have an 11/11 sorry, not... Yeah, 11/11 for 6 mana, I guess. 6 mana for a 6/6 dinosaur with trample. Other dinosaurs you control have Renown 1 and Ward 1. These are actually getting better as time goes on. Green 2 generic. Create a 1/1 green dinosaur creature token. Activated as a sorcery. You know what it should have had? It should have had 6 mana. Create a 6/6 with trample. Yeah, am I right? Am I not right? Samrat the Raccoon loves Dreadmaw. Dreadmaw is never a meme. And the last one. 6 mana for an enchantment. Dinosaurs you control have base power and toughness. 6/6 and have trample and lose all abilities. Totally fine. Actually, you might buff up some dinosaurs. You play a bunch of tiny, dinky dinosaurs, and you buff it up with the Dreadmawlity. The Dreadmaw. Oh, they have different names. Dreadmaw Broodmother. Dreadmaw Colossus. I missed the names. Another Dreadmaw Colossus. Okay, they're all different Dreadmaws. Oh, this is gets the tokens to 6/6. Absolutely. Majra, the new version of Vera. And thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, we got Vera, daughter of Sekiro. It's a Abzan 2/3 Snake Shaman Assassin Noble. Didn't we just see this? Death Touch. When Vero or another legendary snake or shaman enters the battlefield or dies, you proliferate. We saw this one. Remove 7 counters from among permanents you control. Gain control of target creature. Oh, you fixed it. I see. And you have landfall when it says it was remove 7 counters for nothing. Okay, gain control of target creature. The way you make counters, it's like super easy. I think it... Okay, I'm going to assume this is fine. It's possible some of your other cards are more broken because it makes so many counters so easily. And especially when you proliferate, you're just going to steal everything. It's possible it should be like remove, I don't know, 12 or something. And landfall when a land enters the battlefield under your control. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. That's fine. You got it. Okay, next up. Is it only Bacon, Catbug, and everyone else? Okay, let's get some other one. Let's get some other cards. We got Larsa here. Thank you very much for your super chat. Larsa 86. Is that gonna show up here? Okay, we got something. Oh, you're taking me out of here. You gotta submit it in the custom Magic the Gathering card place. Okay, I'm gonna leave Discord. Oh no! Okay, hold on. You're making me work too hard to find these cards. You post them in the channel, damn it. I got it says where's where'd my thing go? Yeah, submit cards via Discord. Check description. Okay, hold on. Which ones do you want? Larsa 86. I'm not looking at all these. I'm gonna look at one. Ugh, it's not in frame or anything. Hold on, open image and new tab. I got a system, people. You gotta follow the system. You don't follow the system, it's not gonna work very well. You gotta follow them systems. Okay. Torenzo Prince, Black 1 Jerk, 1/2, Vampire Noble, lifelink. Tap, pay 1 life, create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. Absolutely. I actually think this is a cool card. It's 2 mana, tap, make a vampire. I think we should have way more cards like this. But I did follow the rules. Did you follow the rules? No, you followed the rules. You guys, some of you guys are doing great. Yeah, you posted in Discord. You posted in the wrong. We gotta check the description. There is like post on submit cards via Discord. Check description, then post on what's it called? Post on the thing. I got a separate custom MTG cards channel here. Okay, next super chat because we have bazillions of them. Okay, hold on. Shock Creation says that my Prismatic Guardian was in your Discord. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna give you an extra super chat sound effect for that. You didn't have to super chat that, you know. Do you know what? For that super chat, we're gonna go back to the freebie section. You donated. You donated, basically. So for the freebie section, we're gonna get. I think we looked at Katrina already. What did we not look at yet? Grasp of the Netherworld. It's a black sorcery. Choose odd or even. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it with mana value of the chosen value. That player discards a card. Okay, choose odd or even. They reveal it. Choose a non-land card from it. This is like a crappy Thoughtseize, basically. It's really bad. Okay, so which means it's fair. Which means it's going to pass. Oh, we didn't do his card? Okay, hold on. I'll go look. I'm gonna look up Shuck. Shuck, where did you go? What was your card, Shuck? Prismatic Guardian was in the Discord. Did I do some random other person's Prismatic Guardian? Oh, I did. Okay, we're gonna do yours. Sorry about that, Shuck. You got screwed twice. Okay, we're back. we got the real Prismatic Guardian up here. So it's just that someone else posted a Prismatic Guardian 14 days ago, and I just assumed it was the same. It was the right person. Okay, we got for Selesnya, Gruul, Rakdos, Dimir, and Azorius. It doesn't look so AI generated now, because like Wizards is actually making cards with these types of casting costs. We got a 0/0 artifact creature construct with domain. Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each basic land type among the lands you control. So it could be a 5/5. But it's got Snowcraft. If you control 4 or more snow permanents, Prismatic Guardian has Hexproof. Oh my goodness. If you control a plains, Prismatic Guardian has flying. Same is true for Island or for Frostbite. What the hell? What's Frostbite? Swamps and Undying, Mountains and First Strike, and Force and Trample. Totally banger card. Pretty cool. It's actually a really sweet card. It's weird. You could cast this for like 3 mana and only get like, you know, half of the abilities here. Or you can cast it for full Wooburg and get the full value out of this thing. Cool card. I love it. Sorry about that, Chuck. I owe you one. Okay, now what do you got for me, Balder? Love the streams. Glad to have you back. Thank you very much, Balder. I am glad to see you as well. And with that super chat, we're going to donate it to the freebie section here. We got Camillo, Theater Kid. Red 2 generic for a 1/1 human shapeshifter with Changeling. Red, white 2 generic. Camillo. What? Camillo, Theater Kid becomes a copy of target human creature, except it has Changeling in this ability. Worth a shot. I can't remember. Okay, this is from some recent Disney movie, isn't it? I don't understand the lore here. But somebody is copying somebody else, I think. Whatever. Is the ability fair? Sure. Absolutely. Is it underwhelming? Absolutely. Probably could be cheaper. You're just copying target human creature. Oh, but it is permanent. Encanto? That's the movie? The guy can change form. Okay, moving on. We got, who hasn't got a card yet? At the end of the show, it's just gonna be all like Majra and Bacon Catbug. Okay, next up we've got Redco. Jace, if he did his damn job as the guild pact. Okay, Jace, if he did his damn job. Oh, it's so nice being able to find cards easily. Okay, Jace, Intrepid Law Mage. This is, oh, by the way, thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, it's got like Teferi's mana cost for a 3 loyalty Jace. +1, detain up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. That means they can't attack or block and the activated abilities can't be activated. That's pretty cool. Then -2, each opponent reveals their hand. Choose a card name until next turn. Cards with the chosen name can't be cast. Also interesting. It's like a meddling mage effect. -6, you get an emblem with you and perms you control have hexproof. That is super cool. Love this card. The +1 might be the +1 might be creepy strong though, because it's like defending itself on a plus ability. Always very dangerous to do that. Okay, in between, we gotta do super chat from Majra. Okay, last 5 of part 1 of the Sadnell. Sadnella. Sadnael or something like that. Well, I didn't even spell it right the first time. This is part 3. This is part 2. You want to see the last 5? You said. You got it. Okay. Orzhov Green for a 1/1 Snake Shaman Assassin. Shaman you control get +1/+1 Shaman you control with a +1/+1 counter on them have trample. Whenever a shaman you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, proliferate. That actually sounds broken because basically each creature will trigger, making it insane. I don't think that one is allowed, and it's very, very cheap. So basically, as like anything with whenever shaman you control deals combat damage to a player plane, yeah, and everything proliferates. I think that would be that's a completely busted card. Warrior of the Sadnayel. This is hard to pronounce. Yeah, absolutely a danger. Imagine attacking with 5 creatures, proliferate 5 times. Snakes and warriors you control with a +1/+1 counter have menace. It's a 3/3. A snake, a shaman, and warriors with a +1/+1 counter on them declare an attack. Whenever they declare an attack, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. What the hell? That's so bad. Wait, I just have to declare an attack. It's like unblockable damage. And we're still going to attack. That's totally broken as well. These cards are insane. Okay, Priest of Serenity. It's a black-white for a 2/1 first striker. Yeah, snakes with arms at danger. Yeah, it would be fair if it was like, if 1 or more shaman deals damage, proliferate. Also, if it just The whole declaring attack is like, you know, the whole purpose of attacking is so that we attack, and then if our opponent, like, kills the creature or blocks it, we don't get the effect. You're trying to cheat your way through all of that. Black-white for a 2/1 first striker. Whenever a snake or warrior with a +1/+1 counter on it deals damage to a player or planeswalker or battle, venture into the, I'm assuming that means dungeon. The dungeon! So, you get a little, some points taken off for bad spelling. But 4 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This card is okay. This actually is, this one will work. Not broken. Not it danger. Priestess of Harmony for a white-green 1 generic, a 2/2 Snake Shaman with lifelink. Snakes you control with a +1/+1 counter on them have Ward 2. Whenever a snake with a counter on them dies, draw a card and gain 1 life. I think this is pretty damn pushed for a snake. I think it's very pushed. I think when it dies, so this like turns into those snakes that you crack, like Sakura Tribe Elder will draw a card now. I'm gonna be safe and say that this card is also just pushed as hell. So some of them are fine, some of them are broken. And then Sadnael's Oracle, 3 mana for a 2/3. Enters the battlefield, proliferate. Oh god. Landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield you control, proliferate. Oh god! And then at the beginning of your end step, if there are 50 counters among permanents you control, you win the game. Okay, well. You have to donate through Super Chat's Plague Doctor. Otherwise, I get billions. If you Super Chat, I will look at your card. That's how it works. This is all for the Super Chatters. I appreciate you contributing to the Discord, though. J-Hogue! Okay, what do you got for us? Might be late here, but the Mirror Lith is literally a worse command sphere. Oh, is that what it is? The Mirror Lith is a word. You talking about like a real card? Or a card you're submitting? Hold on, Mirror Lith. Mirror Lith, literally a worse command sphere. Hold on, oh, this is a card? Okay, hold on, Mirror Lith. I can't find this anywhere. Or are you just making a comment? Oh, this is a post? It came 11 hours ago. Oh, I see. You didn't get the message, Jay. But thank you very much for your Super Chats anyway. Okay, 3 mana. Artifact, tap. Reveal the top card of your library. Then add colorless. Then we just looked at this card. Oh, wait, you were saying like Command Sphere is a strictly worse. Yeah, it is a strict, but Command Sphere sucks. I don't know, is Command Sphere any good? 3 mana for adding mana. Doesn't really do it today, you know what I mean? Doesn't really do it it doesn't do it these days. 3 mana for a mana rock is a very weak sauce. Yeah, I just realized it was a previous card. People confusing me. You were a little late to the conversation. You're throwing in that conversation like a million years later. Okay, next up, Bacon Cat Bugs, Demonic Negotiation. I might have, you guys are gonna make me like raise the cost of the Super Chats. Demonic Negotiation. I would raise it if I could, but I have no ability to on the back end. Okay, Demonic Negotiation. Red-black instant. Exile the card 6 from the top of your library. That is weird. Cast that card by paying life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. If you can't, exile the top 5 cards of your library. So, oh, so you could maybe pay for the card, but maybe not. Cast the card by life equal to its mana value. So if you don't have enough life, then you just exile all the cards. Weird, interesting card. Very, very strange card design, but very unique. Beware the allure of the whispered promises. Every deal exacts its toll in the end. Okay, Majra with another last 5. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to you. Let's churn through some bunch of other cards here. We got Bacon Cat Bug with Duplicate. It attacks everyone, including you. Oh god. It's cute! I like the look of this thing. It's a black, red, white 4/4 cat ooze with vigilance, haste, and myriad. Duplicate attacks each turn if able. Whenever duplicate attacks, you may have it fight target untapped creature you control. Oh god. If you don't, it deals 4 damage to you. Oh my god! Yeah, it will smack me right in the face. Okay, I think that's fine. It's pretty cute and pretty fun. I'm tech stupid. I can't find out this Discord. You download the Discord app or be on a browser or something. You might have to make a Discord username or something. And I got a link to my Discord in the description. Okay, next. We'll get another one from Bacon Catbug. These are all cheap. Okay, enchantment lands. You said revised 2. Oh god. Well, you're getting 1. What the hell is all this? 1 super chat, 1 card. Okay, Shimmering Step. Shimmering Step enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add a green or a white. Also pay 3, put Shimmering Step from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, that is that is unique ramp. I like that card design. Pretty cool. What do we got next? Okay, let's get one from Bryce. Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna spread out all your guys' super chats. Okay, Bryce, the only one posted on Discord by bbro123. Okay. On Discord? The only one. We got the only one for a blue, red, black, 3 generic, 3/5 legendary Drake. When the only one enters the battlefield, put a wing counter on each creature you control. On each creature you don't control. Whenever a Drake you control leaves the battlefield, destroy target creature with a wing counter on it. Hold on. So when it enters the battlefield, put a wing counter on each creature you don't control. Period. Whenever a Drake you control leaves the battlefield, destroy target creature with a wing counter on it. All right, that makes some sense. Also, totally fair. 6 mana for that effect. I can get behind that. That's for sure. Next up, we got Alex Gibson. Thank you very much for your super chat. Defile the temples. Because I hate shrines. Hey, shrines aren't for everybody. Okay, we have a Orzhov White sorcery. Destroy target enchantment if 1 or more shrines are destroyed this way. Very specifically hating on the shrines over here. You gain 2 life. And then, and you get to draw a card. Also has Overload for black. Orzhov White 1 generic. You may cast the spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of a target with each. Time and time again, the so-called faithful broke him. Their gods cared not when he broke them. Yeah, figure it out for the next show. It's all fine. Shuck says, that's what I get for using another card for inspiration. For your information, Frostbite, when this creature deals combat damage to a creature that tapped that creature. Oh, interesting. Is that a new card? Yeah, I think I remember that. Like, it's like the stun. It is a cool way of using stun. Temmy's like, don't hate on my budget shrine deck. I know, this is like when they made Plague Engineer just to kill off like elves, goblins, humans, merfolk, spirits. Those shrine players are just trying to have fun around here. They're just trying to have fun. Okay, next up, we've got Majra. Last 5 cards of part 1. Oh god. Okay. Part 1 of the Sad Nayel. We're making good time here. The Discord thing is working, in my opinion. It's the last. Did we do this one? Trample. Menace. Oh, I just didn't get rid of. Okay, hold on. I didn't keep track of this thing. I hope that wasn't a fresh super chat. There's Battlefield Proliferate, Land Control Yeah, we did that one. Okay, I'll do this one. First 5 cards of part 2. Part 2 of the Sad Danielle. Okay, first 5 cards. And think, oh, hold on. I want to use this super chat. It's not a super chat sound effect. I have no opportunity to use it yet. Okay, we got Concubine of the Sekiro. Already I can see that this is 1 mana and supremely broken. This better be fair at 1 mana. It's a 1/1. Shaman you control with +1/+1 counter on them have lifelink. Whenever Concubine of Sekiro or another shaman enter the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. Honestly, maybe this is okay. I've seen more broken cards out there, in my opinion. Like there's tons of supremely broken cards out there. This is pushed, but I can get behind it. Discussion in the Forest for a white 2 generic. Instant. Choose 1. Proliferate, then gain life equal to the number of counters on the battlefield. Oh, God. That much life. Then put a vigilance counter on each warrior you control. That actually is fine. Okay, nap in the forest. Green. Don't we all want to be napping in the forest? Has anyone tried to nap in the forest? In my opinion, it sort of sucks. A bunch of bugs start walking all over you. I've sort of I just lay down and suddenly I feel ants on my hands and stuff like that. Choose 1, tap any number of snakes, then put a +1/+1 counter on them. Remove a +1/+1 counter on any number of snakes you control, then regenerate each of them. That actually is also fine. It's actually a clunky combat trick. I eat bugs. You like eating the bugs. Oh, so it's like food for you. Aha! I have found a tasty snack. You have fallen into my trap, ladybug. You thought you could just crawl on me for no reason, for I was actually I set up the bomb. And now I eat you. Sani's Bodyguard, white 2/2, snake warrior, snake shaman wario. Sure that means supposed to be warrior. This is Wizards R&D level of quality these days. They're making typos all over the place. Vigilance, Ward 2. When Sani's Bodyguard enters the battlefield, put a Vigilance counter on target creature you control. And also, whenever a Snake or Shaman deals combat damage to a player or Planeswalker, put a stun counter on target creature you don't control. Actually, is broken. So it's Ward 2, which is really strong. And the whole deal combat damage to a player and freeze up a creature. Like, it will never untap. Like, you would get so far ahead of the game with this thing. I think if you remove the ward... probably this is fine. Probably it's fine. But with the ward, it's like untouchable. Sani's and also you could attack one person and stun someone else's creature. Okay, Sani's Peaceful Moment. Green, white instant. Prevent all non-combat damage until end of turn. Also, or I guess you could both. This and prevent all combat damage from non-snake creatures until end of turn. That's totally fair. So it's a huge combo blowout. It's a huge combat blowout with your snakes attacking other snakes. Or sorry, other non-snakes. But that's fair. That's totally fine. I can get behind all that. Yeah, mostly Zyber. Mostly Zyber, some danger. That's how it works around here. Okay, let's go to UK. Now I'm a lobster. I don't know the lore behind that. Cestus. Seasons. Usher. Might be slightly busted. That's okay. You're not the first person to submit busted cards on this show. That's for sure. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, we got a green, red, blue, white, 1 generic card with text that I can barely read. Elemental Demigod, a 6/6. Creatures in your hand have evoke, exile a creature card that shares a color with this card from your hand and put a rebirth counter on it. What the hell is this? I need a sound effect for like cards that are the text and all the font and everything is too tiny. Put a creature card you own in so it's like green, white, and that like 2 generic sort of hybrid cost thingamabob. Really weird. Yeah, I can't read that. I'm old. I can't read that. I'm not that old yet. Put a creature card you own in exile with a rebirth counter on it onto the battlefield under your control. That creature is an elemental creature in addition to its other types and has base power equal to its mana value. How hard? Okay, so basically the creatures you evoked with a rebirth can come back onto the battlefield for like 2 mana. And then you can also pay a red, blue, return an elemental creature you control to its owner's hand. Draw cards equal to the return creature's power and deal damage to any target equal to its toughness. This is completely broken. What other sound effects can I use? It's way too much. It's way too. You're just trying to break all the elementals. And it's so cheap, too. These activated abilities are 2. It's 2 mana. Yeah, it's a bit broken. It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit at danger. It's just a little bit at danger around here. Okay, let's go to these old bacon cat bugs and Majra super chats. Okay, we got Redco with Kanana of the Brush. Of the Brush. It is a blue-white, green, red, 0/5 human monk. Whenever you cast or copy a spell, Kanana of the Brush gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each of that spell's colors. Really? Spells that target Kanana have demonstrate. Whenever you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. I think that's okay. I don't know what this is going to look like in practice, but I hope it's fine. Bacon Catbug is donating to Plague Lad. Thank you so much, Bacon Catbug. See, the community looking out for everyone. Oppenheimer. All right. You got, where is this actually? Huh? Where you, did I look this up correctly? Oh, sorry, Oppenheimer. Oppen for the Plague Lad. Where is this post? Okay, hold on. It says 2 Progenitus, 2 Blightsteel, and an Infinite Mill action. Where you would win would be an enchantment. Huh? Where you win. Oh, and was this supposed to be on custom magic? Oppenheimer. It was probably from custom magic. I hope this is the actual card. Oh, the Plague Doctor. Okay, this is actually him. Damn it, Plague Doctor is supposed to post in my Discord. Anyway, okay, so we got J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oh, with this tiny text. Okay, we got a red, black, blue, white. I'm surprised red isn't part of the casting cost because they literally made a bomb. It's a 4/4 human artificer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a scrap token. Sacrifice a scrap token. Exile the top card of your library. You may cast it this turn. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than paying its mana cost. Sacrifice 20 scrap tokens. Exile all other creatures. Each opponent gains a rad counter for each creature they control exiled this way. I don't know what the rad counters do, but cool. Oh, did you post it in? Well, you have to post it with the name of the text of the card. Otherwise, I can't find the damn thing. Which you did not, because I looked it up and it didn't show up in the search results. I love how green... Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, I did have red. I thought that was missing red, so it was actually missing green. I love how green, the color of nature, is the only one not in the cost. Yeah, I misread the... Yeah, red is part of the casting cost. It better be. Somehow I was expecting it on the end. It was camouflaged within the red palette of this card. Cool card! Sort of flavorful as well. Okay, next up. We got Luke, the 9 Divine Generals from RE0. I finally made it to a stream. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okay. The 9 Divine Generals. You posted it on Reddit, didn't you? The 9 Divine Generals from... Is it in the Discord? Oops, community deck lists. Oops, that's community deck. I mean, it's supposed to be in custom here. Oh, you do have it here. Okay, hold on. And you've got... Okay, $10. I'll look at 5 cards. Okay, we got Yorna Mishigur. It is a blue, red, green, 2 generic for a 3/3 Fox Noble. Yorna gets +1/+1 for each other non-human creature you control. Other non-human creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is half of Yorna Mishigur's Hold on. Other non-human creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is half of Yorna Mishig, your power rounded down. Oh god, it's a math card, people. It's a math card. You're gonna make me go back to grade school. Sadly, this game, you can't avoid the math, no, can you? You can't avoid the math. Rad counter equals upkeep, lose 1, and mill 1 for each counter, then lose rad counters. I don't know how rad counters work. Okay, I guess this is okay. I hope. I actually don't fully understand this card, but it costs 3 colors and it costs 5 mana overall. Okay, Moguro Hagane. Oh, it's like, these are all Japanese names. Moguro Hagane! It is 3 colorless, 5 generic for a 6/6 construct. At the beginning of your at the beginning of combat, create a 3/1/1 colorless construct artifact creature tokens with. This creature must attack each combat if able. And whenever a non-token artifact you control enters or leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with. This creature must attack. Hold on. Oh, and you did say non-token, so this is a cool card. It is a colorless construct monstrosity, but it definitely is fair. Next up, we got Madeline Eschart. Is a blue, red, green, 2 generic 5/5 dragon warrior. And then when it attacks, you may pay 3. If you do, put a 3/3 red dragon creature token onto the battlefield under your control. When it dies, you can also pay 5. If you do, then search your library, and you can search your library and hand. It doesn't sound like the correct templating for a card named Mezoria, the Cloud Dragon, and put onto the battlefield. That also is probably fine, depending on what Mezoria, the Cloud Dragon, is. Groovy Gumlet. It's a red, white, 2 generic 4/4 human beats. Equipped abilities you control cost 2 less to activate. Equipment you control have an equipped creature gets +1/+1, and Groovy Gauntlet gets +1/+1 for each equipment attached to it. Probably also fine. You like equipment, don't you? You love them equipment. And then lastly, we got Gauze Ralphon. It's a red, white, 3 generic 6/6 human soldier with vigilance. Other soldiers you control also get +1/+1 in vigilance. Enters the battlefield or attacks, create 2 1/1 white human soldier tokens. You love your equipments, you love your tokens. These are all great cards. Forgot to put the actual card, Mezoria. Yeah. Don't rush, dude. There's no rush. When you super chat, make sure, that's a lesson to everyone. There is no rush. You guys are super chatters anyway. So just make sure you cross all your T's, dot all your I's, submit some perfection, and then you super chat for victory. Okay, now let's go to a let's do a bacon catbug cycle. The Etheria. I can tell some of you guys spend a lot of time. You probably spend more time making custom Magic the Gathering cards than actually playing Magic the Gathering. I can tell, in my opinion. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Okay, we got Rena, Beacon of Hope for a white 2 generic 5 loyalty. It is a planeswalker. The first white creature spell. The first white creature spell you cast on each of your turns has Convoke. Hopefully that's not busted. This sounds... Hopefully that's not busted. You know, Convoke is isn't that broken of an ability. You still got to pay something. Okay, -2. Create 2 0/1 white spirit creature tokens with, when this creature becomes tapped, sacrifice it. Oh, interesting. So it's just basically, it's a weird ramp card. That's very unique design. I love it. 10 out of 10. We got Umiya, Azer Visionary. It's a white 2 generic 5 loyalty. The first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn costs blue less. Uh-oh. But it's only 1, but it's each turn. -2. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. It's 4 mana, so hopefully this isn't broken. What do you mean? I'm a proper EDH player, I'll have you know. Are you creating custom cards while you're playing EDH? Brixana, Queen of Night, black 2 generic for a 5 loyalty Brixana. The first black creature spell you cast each turn has Emerge. Oh god. Emerge actually has a cost, though. Emerge cost is equal to its mana cost. And then -2, put target creature card from a graveyard with mana value 2 or less from the battlefield onto the battlefield under your control. That seems completely fine. Very fair cards. Rukaya, Mistress of Riches. Red 2 generic, 5 loyalty. Whenever you sack a treasure, add red mana. This ability triggers only twice each turn. Okay, -2. Create a treasure token and a junk token. Oh, God. I'm glad you at least stopped it at 2. Hopefully, this isn't broken. Majra says it happened once. Once they made a bunch of cards like that. Made a bunch of custom cards during the... It's like, you had to make your custom Magic the Gathering cards before the next custom card show. Okay, we have a green 2 generic. Gaia the Grove Warden, 5 loyalty. Whenever you tap a basic land for mana, add green. This ability triggers only twice each turn. Also -2, search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield, tapped and shuffle. I like this card. That is super fair. It's just ramp our us. It's basically every deck trying to like cheat on mana a little bit, but not too much. Not too much cheating on mana. Explains what a junk token is. What's a junk token? Hold on. It's an artifact with tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Oh, God. Okay, I still think it's fine. It's fine. It's fair. It's good. Okay, Majra, what's the next series of cards we're looking at? And then the 5 last cards of part 2. Of the Sad Yell. Okay, last 5 cards. Okay, it's a black 2. We got Stroll in the Forest. We were sleeping in the forest at first. Now we're just strolling with it. Okay, we have a black 2 generic instant. Choose one. Phase out target creature you control. Remove all counters on that creature when it phase in. Then put that many -1/-1 counters on target opponent creature. You know what? This is reading so poorly. I'm gonna have to disqualify it. All snakes you control gain a wither counter. Why would you want to do that? Is this like that anti-card to the deck that you just built? Are you trying to keep them in check? So they gained all these counters, and they remove all the counters, you put -1/-1 counters? We need these cards to keep the last set of cards in check. Oh, it's the Sadnelia! Sadnayel. I can't pronounce this damn thing. Okay, with the weird hybrid of green, black, white, 1 generic. Legendary enchantment. Whenever a snake or shaman deals combat damage to a player, put that many charge counters on target land you control. Whenever you tap a land for mana, you may remove any number of charge counters on that land to produce that many mana of that combination of colors that land may produce. This sounds awfully broken. So deal a bunch of damage to a creature, put like 1,000,000 charge counters. Is it for each creature? Or that much damage? Whenever it deals combat damage, you may put that many charge counters? What that many charge? You may put that many charge. I deal 20 damage. I put 20 charge counters on my basic land. Tap it, remove 20 counters to get that much mana? Absolutely not. That sounds too much to me. Ancestral Sanctuary for this actually costs mana. This is 10 mana for a shrine. This card costs 1 less to cast for each forest on the battlefield. All right, so you get a little bit of a discount. Whenever you cast your first snake spell each turn, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. Investigate at your second. Draw a card at your third. Whenever you cast your first snake, that's actually hard to pull off. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control for each shrine you control. It's actually one of the more fair cards here. Uji's channel says, Nikachu, I used to play MTG during Kamigawa. I'm kind of lost with so many keywords. Oh yeah, me too. And I'm actually current with the game. They make Wizards makes you look up all the cards these days. You have to look up all the cards. Okay, well, that was 1, 2, 3. Sadnelia Sigil for 4 mana. Enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin the game with it on the battlefield. So it's a bit Leyline of the Sadnayel. If an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters on the permanent you control instead. Absolutely not. So basically super proliferate. The best blessing of... You know, like, proliferate doesn't even need any more help, as far as I'm concerned. Vera's Disciple. It's a black 1/1 Snake Warrior Assassin with Death Touch. Ward, pay 3 life. Whenever Vera's Disciple enters the battlefield, put a Death Touch counter on target creature you control. Whenever a Snake or Assassin deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature you don't control. That actually is fine. Even for Ward, pay 3 life. Bacon's like, I'm a Time Spiral Boomer. Oh yeah, well I'm a Mercadian Masks Boomer. Plague Doctor loves Homelands. Tell us how boomer you are by letting us know the set that you started playing in. The first set you showed up with. Yeah, bye-bye elves. Well, I mean, they could... Actually, elves can't kill this card very well. Okay, let's go to a Bacon Cat Bug special. And this one is a cycle of Reverse Overload. How does that work? Reverse Overload. There we go. Overload, which is cheaper than the regular cost as it benefits all players rather than just you. You believe it. Better believe it. Okay. Celestial Banishment. White 2 generic sorcery. Target player exiles a creature they control with the greatest mana value among creatures they control. Also has Overload for white. You may cast this spell for its Overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. So target player exiles a creature they control with the greatest mana value. So if you overload it, it hurts you, is what you're trying to tell me. So it's basically all the other Overload cards were like, this affects the opponent but doesn't affect you. Now this one also affects you. Target player may scry 4, then draw 2 cards. If we overload, we all get to scry 4 and draw 2 cards. This is a great idea. The Abyssal Tutor. Oh, we all get to tutor. Black 2 generic sorcery. Target player searches their library for a card and puts it into their hand, then shuffle. You can't cast spells this turn. Overload for a black. This actually would completely backfire. Well, I wouldn't say backfire on you, but like you don't get to cast spells this turn, but everyone gets to cast what they tutor on their turn. Magma Rift for 4 mana. Deals 4 damage to target player. Overload for red. Yeah, everyone gets 4 damage. Everyone takes damage. And then lastly, we've got Nature's Reclamation for 4 mana. It's a sorcery. Target player may mill up to 2 cards, then return up to 2 cards from their graveyard to their hand. Exile only 2 cards! Exile Nature's Reclamation. Excellent card. Overload for double green. Yeah, I guess it's going to be for 6 mana. You overload for the 2 extra. Zybra's in my book as well. It was a great series. 10 out of 10 series. Okay, let's go to another person. We'll go to Spectral Maniac with Sad Dow, Part-Timer, Lord Satan, Demon King. Is this have something to do with that, like, what's it called? I'm Not Afraid of the Dark show from Canada, if anyone knows what the hell I'm talking about. It's Sad Dow! Okay, I don't think it is. I don't think it's related. Okay, we got a red-black 1/1 human citizen. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Sadao Mao, Part-Timer, and transform it. Welcome to Mig Ronalds. I don't understand the flavor. So far, front side, so good. The back side, Lord Satan Demon King. A 4/4 Demon Noble. Hold on, how do we flip it? Whenever another creature dies, put a counter on this. Oh, you just put 1 counter and transform it immediately. At the beginning of your end step, you may remove all -1/-1. Sorry, you may remove all +1/+1 counters from Lord Satan, Demon King. If you do, it does damage to any target equal to the number of counters removed this way. When Lord Satan, Demon King has no counters on it, you have to transform it back. Oh, interesting. It goes back and forth. So you have to play this creature, kill something, turns into a 4/4, but then it just flip-flops around over and over again. It can die, and with the trigger on the stack, you can kill it, but then you can kill something else and try to transform it. With that trigger on the stack, that actually might work out. That's an interesting design. I like it. It's from The Devil is a Part-Timer. Oh, got it. McRonald's. Welcome to McRonald's. Okay, who do we got next? Let's go to Redco. Pre-concentrate. Give you a nice super chat sound effect. Oops, what am I doing? Oh, it's concentrate. I need at least one word spelled pre-consecrate. I don't know what that means. Damn it, you probably posted this just like not even that long ago. Okay, it's a white, one generic for a instant. If the spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You may cast... Oh, that's interesting. So basically, hey, you got Soul Ring, you blow it up. I love this card. This is a really cool card. It's a 0 mana card if it's this first spell. Like, basically, you can only abuse it if your opponent's played, like, I don't know, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, maybe, what's it called? Rhystic Study. Exactly. This is a very good idea. You hear it? You've taken notes, Wizards of the Coast? You taking notes? Also will suck for affinity players. Someone main decks this thing and blows up, I don't know, someone's land. Probably is a CDH staple. Great card. Alright, next up. Majra, the first 5 cards of part 3. Alright, let's enjoy the first 5 cards. Quiet Clearing. Oh, we got a forest that can add a green, but it only enters the battlefield. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you reveal a snake. And it's like a tri-land, but you lose life if you try to add the Abzan colors, or sorry, the black, white parts of this card. That's a great idea. That's a unique land design. So we got the same thing for Verge of the... Oh no, this is Verge of the Sad Neliel. I'm never going to pronounce this thing properly by the end of this show. Never going to happen. Okay, you add a colorless, pay 2 taps. Also enters the battlefield tapped. Pay 2 tap, sacrifice Verge of the Sad Nayel. Search your library for a Plains card and a Swamp card. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So it's like a little bit of ramp. Also actually a unique design. I like that. Sigil of Recovery. Green, black, 1 generic aura, flash. Enchant a snake or a shaman. When enchanted creature dies, exile Sigil of Recovery, and at the beginning of the next upkeep, reanimate enchanted creature and up to 1 other creature from the graveyard of the owner of enchanted creature. What? Okay, so basically, if it dies, it comes back, which is completely fine. We got a Saga. We have a green Saga. Chapter 1. Target snake creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Also, same thing for Chapter 2. Actually, it's pretty good design. And then with Chapter 3, we have put a counter, put a +1/+1 counter on all snakes you control. So you get a little bit of it's like an anthem at the end, and that's a little bit of, it's a bit of removal early on. It's hard to make work, so it's definitely completely fair. Can't you just put Totem Armor? You could do that too. Totem Armor works. There's some cards that you might want an ETB, like it dies and comes back. You know what I mean? And last, behold the Sadnalia. It's a green, black, white instant kicker. Put X +1/+1 counters on up to 3 target non-shapeshifter creature you control, where X is equal to the number of different creature types they have. And then if the spell is kicked, scry 1, then draw a card. You got it. Okay, well, next up we'll go Bacon Catbug. Feel free to spread out my spam. Oh, you better believe I did already. Gamblin' Goblin. We got the Gambling Goblin. He's out for some action here. Oh, we got a red 0/0 Goblin Berserker. We're probably coming with dice. Where's the dice here? Wow, you got money, you have poker chips, but no dice. Haste First Strike. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. And also pay 0 if Gambling Goblin is on the battlefield. Flip a coin. Don't I have a coin flip sound effect? I swear I have a coin flip sound. Where's my coin flip sound effect? It's not really a coin. That's not a flip. Okay, anyway, flip a coin. If you win the flip, double the number of +1/+1 counters on Gambling Goblin. If you lose the flip, you have to sacrifice it. The stakes are high for this gambler. You can go infinite with luck. I guess it's possible. Krark's Thumb time. Well, even with Krark's Thumb, I mean, don't push your luck. You might lose this damn thing. Bacon Cat Bug with some sort of Ripper Swarm. It's from Warhammer. Okay, it is a red-green 1/1 Tranid Squad for Gruul. When Ripper Swarm enters the battlefield, it fights target creature. Squad is like, as additional cost to cast this ability, you may pay this to Gruul any number of times. When it enters the battlefield, create that many tokens? Is that broken? Enters the battlefield, it fights target creature? I mean, they'll all die, I guess. And it has to fight a creature. It could fight itself. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all these creatures fight themselves. That'd be pretty wild. Okay, I think that's fine. Tyrannid. Whatever. Shock is like, ew, no ante for that last one. Bacon Cat Bug with skip through time. The phasing out of players. What? We're phasing players out of the game? Skip though time. Skip though time. I don't know why it's though time, not through time. For an Azorius and a white or 2 generic. You may phase out. Exile skip through time. Skip though time. Addendum. If you cast this spell during your main phase, an opponent of your choice phases out instead. That's weird. Exile skip though time. I think you meant through time. Treat players that are phased out as if they don't exist until their next turn. Just ignore everything they say. If they ask where the bathroom is, say nothing. Just completely ignore them. And then they haven't left the game but can't do anything. And if a player refers to the controller of one of their permanents, that effect can't happen. That is just really funny. You can't phase out players. That's why Teferi's Protection is worded so. Hey, it's custom Magic the Gathering land. None of this exists. We are bringing it into existence. Welcome, Proto Pawn. No offense, but I think Bacon Cat Bug has a lot of time on their hands. That's a lot of cards. And Majra just sitting in the corner like, hoping no one's eyes are on me. These are a lot of unique cards, though. Okay, next up. I like the name. One with nothing, but one with WON. What did you win with? With absolutely nothing. Pay 0 instant. If you have no cards in hand, no cards in your graveyard, and no cards in your library, you win the game. What? Win the game? This is actually probably... Do you know what? Honestly, this is a cool card. That's probably how winning with nothing should be. You got nothing in hand. You've exiled everything. Oh, what about the battlefield? No hand, no cards in your graveyard, and no cards in your library. Yeah, that's probably fine. So it's an alternative. Some people, so it's the alternative to winning with nothing on the battlefield. Now you're winning with nothing else in your hand or anything else. But hold on, won't one with nothing go to the graveyard? Do you need like an rest in peace in play to make sure it gets exiled upon resolution? It Zybers. It does Zyber. Bacon Cat Bug with Yawgmoth's Gift. It is a black 2 generic sorcery. Exile your hand. You may that could go in that deck that we just made, or that goes very well with one with nothing. Okay, exile your hand. You may play those cards for as long as they remain in exile. You lose 2 life and draw a card for each card exiled this way. Totally cool. Quite the gift from Yawgmoth. I don't. This doesn't look like Oh, I guess this is. I was like, this doesn't look like Yawgmoth, but it's not. It's not. That's the gift. This is Yawgmoth's gift. Yawgmoth's not even here. Okay, we got Zyber's Diblick. Howling Mine meets Mana Clash. What the hell? Zyber's Diblick. What the hell is this? Okay, it is red. Is it blue for a 2/2 human wizard? Enters the battlefield with your choice of flying counter or deeply counter. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player flips 2 coins. That player draws a card for each coin that comes up heads. Then Zyber's Diblick deals 1 damage to that player for each coin that comes up tails. This is totally fine. Totally fine and fair. Very flavorful. I guess it's sort of flavorful. A lot of inside jokes in this card. A lot of inside jokes. Should be a split card? Yeah, maybe. Doesn't have the Zyber type? Yeah, a flavor fail in that respect. Okay, let's go to Darkstar Assure one. Zug the Reclaimer. Oh, can I just click them here? I guess I can. Alright, Zug the Reclaimer, which is a black-blue 3 generic 4/4 human wizard. Ward, discard an instant or sorcery card. That's going to be a tough ward to pay sometimes. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, it phases out. Whenever Zug the Reclaimer phases in, exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. If a spell cast this way be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Great card, I guess. So when it phases, basically, like, it only exists like half the time because it phases out, phases in. So when it phases in, you get to target. It's actually a really clunky Snapcaster Mage, if I understand this correctly. But it's like a repeatable source. You know what it reminds me of? Was it? No, not Obnixilis. It was like a 5. Okay, it reminds me of a card that I don't remember. It was like a 5/5 spirit of some sort. It exiled the battlefield and came back next turn. And it like drained you and gained for 2 life. That's a can I see the card? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, next up we'll do Majras. And finally, you say. Okay, what super chat I'm gonna give you for this one? And finally, the last 5 cards of part 3 of the Sadnail. The last 5, you say. Okay, snake. Here, you like snake cards? Here we go. Path to the Sadnail. It is Abzan, enchantment, flash. Enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains +2/+2, lifelink, wither until end of turn. Then deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. That is a lot. Like, it deals super damage. It's not even until end of turn. Is it until end of turn? This part's until end of, okay, it's all until end of turn. Then black 2 generic, sacrifice it, scry 2, then draw a card. This does a lot, but I guess it's okay. It's like a weird super combat trick. Fade to Eternity. For 7 mana, you may remove 11 counters from among permanents you control instead of paying Fade to Eternity's mana cost. If you do, scry 8. Oh. Why don't you just say the card could just tutor? Exile all non-snake and non-land permanents on the battlefield. Oh my god! We were blowing up everything that's not a snake. You know what? In the deck that you have, I think you can't have, like, remove 11 counters. It's just, like, just 7 mana, exile all snake counters. That's fine. Otherwise, this card, I think, is a bit broken. In this proliferate deck that you've made, it's just too easy to wipe everything out. Although only the snakes leave. Sorry, so you get to keep your snakes, but everything else is gone. Artifacts and enchantments. Maybe it's more fine than I think it is. Okay, that was Fade to Eternity. Then Sekiro's Guard. Green, 2/2, trample. When it enters the battlefield, put a trample counter on target creature you control. Whenever a snake or warrior you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, create a treasure token. That actually is a little bit more fair. Way more fair. Yeah, Sneck to Eternity. Fade to Sneck. The fade to neck, the path to Sneck. A lot of Snecks around here. And then, anyway, that's fine. And then Vera's Hint. Green, black, white, instant. Put a death touch counter on target creature you control, then it fights target creature you don't control. If the target you control dies this turn, you lose life equal to its mana value. If the target you don't control dies this turn, choose Fiend, Friend, or Foe. Each friend gains life equal to its mana value, then investigate. Each foe loses life equal to its mana value and scries 3. I don't like this card because it's so goddamn wordy. But I think it's fine. It's another one of those combat tricky likey cards. Okay, next up. Oh, don't go Redco. Let's do your super chat before it's all over. Once in a lullaby. Once in a lullaby. Hopefully you're still around to see this. Blue, blue, 1 generic instant. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you would cast it without paying its mana cost. Copy target instant, sorcery, or artifact spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Oh! So in this deck of yours, you're going to copy their Soul Ring and then destroy... Sorry. Oh, copy the Soul Ring. Oh, so only one can be played first for free, though. So the idea is copy their Soul Ring. Yeah, copy the Soul Ring, and then someone else, I guess, can destroy the other one. Or you could try to copy target instant, sorcery, or artifact spell. Oh, it's only the spell. That's so weird. How do you copy an artifact spell? That doesn't make much sense to me. Does that work? Like you get a token copy of the spell that you just cast, that you just copied? You can also copy Once Upon a Time. I guess that's possible. I don't think that makes sense, to be honest. I think it's like copy target instant or sorcery spell, or copy... It's like choose one. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, or make a copy of target artifact permanent or something. Something to that effect. I think would make more sense. But outside of that, I think it's a good idea. I like the idea of this card. Templated wrong? Good idea. Copying a permanent spell makes a token. Is that just by default how it works in Magic the Gathering? We've had copies of permanent spells for 3 years now. Oh my god, really? All right. It's 100% a banger. Well templated. You know what? None of those cards make it into the into competitive Magic tournaments. It doesn't happen. It never has happened. Bacon Catbug with Shiro the Studious. Oh my goodness! This is beautiful! Oh my god, I need an awe sound effect. Do I have something that describes how amazing this thing is? Shiro the Studious! Blue, blue, white, white, 1 generic for a 2/2 Fox Spirit. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. So whenever opponent... So basically, yeah, so it's like what Ristic Study now. And then creatures can attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Oh, it's Ristic Study and Ghostly Prison all in one card. So it's like it's love at first sight, but then she'll tax you. It's like you gotta pay 2 to be around her. You gotta pay 1. So you gotta pay 2 just to be around her, and then you also have to pay 1 for, I don't know, pay them dinner. Okay, do you pay the 1? Kamigawa Proverb, probably. Okay, love it. Banger card. I actually really like this card. It's basically 2 6-mana enchantments locked into a 2/2 creature. I think it's really cool. Yeah, it's just Ghostly Prison and Propaganda. And Ristic Study. All in one. Bacon Catbug. Conscription Decree. This is a white-green enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target army. Okay. If damage would be dealt to an army you control while it has +1/+1 counters on it, prevent that damage and remove that many +1/+1 counters from that army. Also, you can pay 4 mana. Amass Soldiers 1, activate only as a sorcery. Totally fair. Its words become the rallying cry, inspiring courage, sacrifice, and a sense of duty in those who read or hear it. Majra with the Sakura something. First card from Hell in Game. Sakura Kamori. Whatever the hell that is. Okay, we got, oh god. Why is there so many words on this thing? Green, 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 black, 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 spirit, plant. Creatures can attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller exiles 2 cards from their graveyard for each of those creatures. Actually, I think that's like almost stone cold broken for this. It's only like if you have Rest in Peace in play as well, like no one will ever attack. You and permanents you control have Ward, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. At the beginning of each player's end step, if that player's graveyard contained 1 card or less, they exile a non-permanent they control. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls only lands, permanents, sacrifice the Sakura Shingamabob. Anyway, get it out of here. I think it's supremely broken. I would never want to play against that card either. Okay, Darkstar Ashura with Kyra. The Solar Priestess? The Solar Priestess? Okay, we got a white, red, 2 generic, 2/4 human cleric. Red instant and sorcery spells you cast have lifelink. The first time you gain life each turn, choose 1. Deals damage to any target equal to the number of counters on it. Or sorry, Kyra deals damage to any target equal to the number of counters on it. Put your choice of +1/+1 counter on or a shield counter on target creature. So like the more counters you put on this, the bigger it'll get to shoot something down. I could get behind that. I can get behind that. Although you might get out of control if you gain life every single turn, right? But I'm glad you have this clause. It only triggers once each turn. And now we got Tup the Terrible. Tup the Terrible. It is a Rakdos 1/1 Goblin Warlock with Menace. Tup the Terrible gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to an opponent or creature you don't control. Why on earth are we playing some aura deck here? Okay, whenever you cast an aura spell, if it targets an opponent, create a cursed roll token attached to target creature or so you create a cursed roll token attached to target creature or player. Sorry. Create a cursed roll token attached to target creature that player controls. All right, so that makes actually some sense. I was wondering, are we going to be playing auras here? No, but we do have to cast auras. Whenever you cast an aura spell, if it targets an opponent, we create the roll token. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, personally for me, auras suck. Like, there's not many good auras in this game. I mean, I know they're trying to buff up the auras, but still, they're a little bit of a stinkers. And with that, thank you very much for joining me today on Coffee and MTG. It wasn't as fast as I was hoping it would be, but it was good enough. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here weekdays, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to contribute to the channel, either with your custom cards or sometimes donating to people who want to see their custom cards. But of course, we gotta thank the Coffee crew for showing up today. We gotta thank Darkstar Ashura, Majra, Toad, Samrat the Raccoon. We got Edwin. We got PGRXMR. We got Sleepy Ninja. We got Seven, Milo. We got Bacon Cat Bug, Benovsky. Because you guys are the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, you keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.